So this person called PS4 Fan re-uploaded a video from a commentator called Happy Maddie. It was a commentary on Jonah Smith, who covered a bit of Happy Maddie's last video on Jonah, who was covering a countdown YouTuber and part-time commentator named Blazing Larvista, who made his list of his least favorite power-ups. My guess is that Maddie didn't want to keep the video around because it wasn't that good, but today I want to cover what was removed.
Don Devil and his cheap refunds. Anyway, our target for today, Blazing Larvista. If you've been around the CC for a while, you probably heard of his less than stellar commentaries.
The problem with this clip, he doesn't show his less than stellar commentaries. It might make sense for someone who knows the guy, but for anyone else, they're kind of left clueless. If you're going to say something like this, it would make sense to back it up.
Flushy, I'm just gonna refer to you as that, sorry. Flushy, that point is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. First off, your wording is vague as heck. Show his less than stellar commentaries? How? Video clips?
Hold it! I mean, yeah, obviously. That should kinda go without saying.
But you see, you cut out some context of Jonah's overall point.
Show his less than stellar commentaries? How? Video clips? Screenshots? If that's the case, screenshots would be a terrible idea. They won't actually show the quality of the video. And if it kept showing multiple clips from different commentaries, that would be nothing more than padding to add onto the video and delay from the actual topic at hand.
Jonah was expressing that either method that forces him to show evidence of Blazing Larvista's bad videos wouldn't be good for the video, as one method wouldn't demonstrate that Larvista makes bad videos, and the other method would pad out his video needlessly. However, I would argue the former to be fine, as Jonah later does show a screenshot of a bunch of commentaries Larvista has had on him in his video and proves the point to be okay, and that's only if you consider the fact that this point doesn't really matter at all. As Jonah is introducing the target to his audience, to explain who Larvista is, being a content creator who sometimes does commentaries that aren't seen by the community of commentators as very good. This gives us all the context we need as to whom Larvista is and what he does. Showing any kind of evidence to his commentaries not being very good is arbitrary at best and stupid at worst. Moving on.
But I'm not done yet.
And if it kept showing multiple clips from different commentaries, that would be nothing more than padding to add onto the video and delay from the actual topic at hand.
Yet mentioning his commentaries is not unnecessary padding when you are covering one of his top 10s. Take that!
While that is true, Larvista is known within the commentary community for his commentaries more than his countdowns, according to Jonah, which is giving context to those who do not know Larvista but have been around the commentary community that he is not seen as a great commentator, and since he's introducing his target in that clip, it doesn't come off as needless padding. If Jonah didn't clarify that people would know him if they hung around the commentary community for his bad commentaries, that would be one thing, however.
Anyway, our target for today, Blazing Larvista. If you've been around the CC for a while, you probably heard of his less than stellar commentaries.
Thus making your point moot.
But wait! There's more!
Also, there's a whole entire shampoo from his commentaries. Why commentaries, especially when the video I was covering was actually a countdown instead? If I was to show one type of content he does, before covering a different type of content altogether, you really don't think that would cause some kind of whiplash?
Actually, it would make sense since you are introducing the person, giving a background on the person. Hell, this could show how bad his logic skills are. Without the clips of his bad commentaries, it makes the introduction to him fall flat, and thus be useless.
Not really. Jonah's statement in the first video implied that his commentaries are typically what's covered in the commentary community, thus introducing Larvista to us as someone who's not great at making commentaries. He followed that part of the introduction with explaining how he was going to hit something different, something we hadn't seen many times leading to that point.
Well, I'm gonna be going to Phantom and Rude and tackling something different, one of his countdowns.
So Larvista is a not good commentator who also makes countdowns. Seems explained well enough to me.
And if you think that's pointless padding, then why introduce him at all?
Because introducing your target is important for viewers to come in and explain the context as to what's going on. This should be really obvious.
hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer!
And ironically enough, Plushie, I can turn the same entire logic right back at you. Cause, didn't you say this earlier in the same commentary?
So if you search Jonah Smith commentary on YouTube, you'll find that he's kind of a popular name in the community. He gets a lot of commentaries done on him, that's for sure.
Funny, so I've had a whole lot of commentaries done on me. I mean, you're right, but where's your proof of that? Show proof of me being commentated on a lot.
Here's the difference. I say where you can look for the evidence. You don't point out which of his commentaries are less than stellar.
Except he explains that if you've paid attention to the commentary community, you would have already seen Larvista's skills as a commentator, explaining that other commentators have more than likely talked about him there. Very similar to your if you Google Jonah Smith then you would see commentaries done on him explanation. So if he needs to show evidence and provide examples to which commentaries by Blazing Larvista aren't good, then you need to explain and give examples to whom has done commentaries on Jonah Smith, otherwise it's double standards and hypocrisy.
You could say you were pointing out all of them, but you don't say that either. You just say he made less than stellar commentaries.
And you just say there's a lot of commentaries done on him. Your statement was a blanket one too.
I'll admit right now, the video wasn't great, but out of all the points, that's the one that bugged you the most? Not the fact that I accidentally said that bananas move?
Maybe he didn't notice that point, or maybe he didn't care enough to cover it as the rest of the point might have been okay, whereas this one isn't correct no matter how you slice it as it deliberately ignored a statement in Jonah's introduction for the sake of making a not great point altogether, being more of a dishonest point than telling us that an inanimate object moves, which is just stupid. Anyway, that's all I had to say on the matter of this video. This is Pink Robot. Until next time.